everyone, and welcome to Needle Notes with Stitcher Trish and her nerdy husband, Steven.
Woohoo!
Today is July the 6th, 2024, and welcome to our home in very roasty central North Carolina.
It's hot.
It is very warm. It's like 85 already, and it's 10 something in the morning. So
85.
yeah, I got out and got the yard mowed before it got too incredibly difficult to breathe outside. But welcome to our home, and thank you for joining us today. It's been a few minutes since we did a video. I think the last one we did was in February, so the reason for the languish is because I just didn't feel like I had a lot of content to show you, because I got to really kind of laser focusing on one thing. And that one thing is finished, so I would love to show that to you. My big, gigantic finish ta-da, of Modern Folk Embroidery's Agnus Day. I started this piece back in 2020, I believe, and it was my focus piece for Lent for the first 2 years. And then the third year, I didn't work on it at all during Lent because I was really trying to finish up A Year in the Woods for our grandson. And then this year at Lent, I decided it just needed to be completely finished. So Lent got finished, I wasn't finished, and I just stuck with it. My stitching time has been a lot less than it was at one point, so it took me a little bit longer, but great piece, beautiful piece now that it's finished. I will be honest with you, this one I had to push myself to get done because it got a little monotonous with it. White thread is not my favorite. But you can see in the middle it is, it's all Christian symbology, the Lamb of Christ, and then the outside, all the little circles represent crown of thorns, and inside of each of those is the stations of the cross and the Passion of Christ, essentially. So beautiful piece. I'm looking forward to getting it professionally framed. I'm not going to attempt to frame this one. It's too big. And then I think I'm going to donate it to our church to go in the narthex. So we have a lot of beautiful, beautiful fabric art in our narthex. So I would like to add to the collection.
It'll fit right in.
Yeah. So very, very, very excited to have this one done. And then, what else have I been working on? Well, I'm going to catch you up on a few of my works in progress. This is a great little kit that was sent to me by Petruvia. I'm not sure how to say it, but they have a website that I have linked below, and tons of just pop culture things, bookmarks, and just small things to do. Great little kits. They sent this kit to me to do, and it comes with everything. All the instructions on how to cross stitch is perfect if you're just getting started. But this is my quote unquote travel piece, and this is where I am on it right now. I've still got a ways to go, and then all the words in there for my Day of the Dead celebration bookmark. But yeah, I take it with me when I travel, and you know, sometimes when you're traveling, you pull things out and you work on it for like 10 minutes and you put it away. So I'm not getting it completed at that rate. If I would just sit down and work on it like 2 or 3 hours, I'll probably have it pretty close to finished. All the instructions for finishing it are inside the booklet as well. Everything that you need to put it together.
And the piece to cover the back.
Yeah, the piece to cover the back, how to stitch it together. Really, really, really great instructions. So if you're looking for a bookmark for a child or a grandchild or just gifty kind of things, go check out that website because they have so much. You can find everybody's interest from their collection of things. So go check that out. The other thing that I've been working on is my temperature chart for this year, which I chose to do. This is from Dr. Christy, who has an Etsy shop, Christy's Corner Needle. She also has a fantastic floss tube. You should go check her out. She was one of my very first floss tube friends. Actually, she was probably the very first floss tube friend that I have. So
she's terrific.
She's terrific. She's just a wonderful spirit. You should go check out her stuff. If you haven't already, you probably already watched Christy. But this is her temperature dragon. I did her very first temperature chart, which was a bookshelf, and I found that I don't really love temperature charts. But it's a dragon, so there was no choice. I had to do this one. And no, I don't love temperature charts. I don't love keeping up with them. But it's a dragon. So, but you can see it started in the middle and then has worked around. So you can see the last This is the end of June, so all the reds are starting to fire up. We hit 100 yesterday, so I haven't looked at my list. I'll start my July one right here and see what the color was for 100. I don't remember. It's some screaming bright red, but this is on its way. It's halfway done. This is the 6-month mark, so coming along, and I'm doing that on a 20 count Aida, just using DMC. Christy gave you 2 colorways. I chose the Gem Tones colorway because that's just my favorite colors. So I work on that every week. I try to not let it get much over 8 days behind before I catch up on it, because it gets to be just too much at that point. The other thing that I have been working on is the Mirabillia Snow Queen. And I am thrilled with how this one's coming along. So this one is on a Stitch Me Opal Lugana. So it's an even weave, and it's 32 count. Had to be because this thing is covered in beads, and the beads don't fit if you don't use the called for size fabric. I have not started on beads yet. I intend to get all the stitching done, and then I've got some scroll rods that I'll put this on and do the beading. And I've never used my scroll rods. I have them, I've just never used them. So we'll get to that pretty soon, I hope. But since the last time that I showed this on Flosstube, I finished her all the way up. Now she's actually a whole human instead of just a dress. I've got a little bit more to do with her hair. She's got some back stitching in there, some twigs that are kind of sticking out of her braid down there. But I got all of this done, and I've been working on these the last 2 or 3 nights. Getting this purple put in there, and then we'll finish this up, finish up her dress. And you see I've got to do the hem down here at the bottom and get all that in, and then move over to Mr. Reindeer and see if I can get him done. I'm moving way faster on this than I thought. When I was first working on this, and this just the dress part, I was not enjoying it. But since I moved up and I'm starting to see the elements and seeing everything just come together, I am in love with doing this right now.
The detail on that is incredible.
Yeah, and just pulling me away from it at night is starting to be a challenge. So I started this back in 2020, forever ago. And this doesn't fit our decor in any real sort of way, but I just love this Mirabillia. It's the one that I've been drawn to. I'm just going to start it and see what happens. Well, we have a granddaughter that was born a couple months ago, so guess what? This is going to go to her room when I get it finished. So I'm hoping to get it finished up, I don't know, next couple of months, 2 or 3 months. And one of my goals is to take it to our local fair. We have a regional fair here in town. And I'm actually going to enter a few of my pieces this year. Before I donate the Agnus Day to the church, I think it's going to go into that as well. So anyway, those are the things that I have been working on diligently. Do have a few acquisitions that I would like to show you. So if you keep up with us and watch our floss tubes, back at Christmas, my beloved gave to me...
That would be me.
Gave to me 2 gigantic patterns and all the floss to go with them. And this is one of them. This is the Tea Dragon. Pain-Free Crafts is who makes this, and the artist is Stanley Morrison. But it's incredibly detailed. It is basically a full coverage.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's got, I don't remember, 150 colors in it.
It's crazy.
This is a piece unlike any I've ever done. So I didn't want it to be absolutely gargantuan. So what I have decided to attempt, again, something completely new, is I'm going to do it on a piece of 25 count Lugana 1/1. So I'll use 1 thread over 1x. And I use Lugana instead of linen, so that my X's are a little bit more consistent and stable. I was debating on using some gridded fabric, but I'm just going to go whole hog on this. So what I did was purchase 2 pieces of granite from Stitch Me, and this is the granite. Again, it's a 25 count Lugana. On the website, and this is the thing about buying fabric, it's always an adventure. On the website, it looked very, very, very gray. In the real world, it's quite pink, but it's got a lot of smoky kind of, if I turn it this way, it won't do that, smoky kind of details in the pattern. I think it's going to be really, really cool because these dragons, the other one is called Coffee Dragon, and it has a lot of dark colors in it. I'm going to do Tea Dragon first because Tea Dragon is Steven and I'm Coffee Dragon. So I'm going to do his first. A lot of different colors in it that are very dark.
That was before I gave up caffeine.
Yeah, well, they're still decaf. But nonetheless, lots of dark color. So I think that pink's going to set it off really well. I've been wanting to start it since this fabric showed up, but I'm resisting doing that because I need to finish some things. I'm not a person that can handle 40 whips in a giant pile and pull one here and do that. I have mad respect for all of you that can. I can't do it. My anxiety would drive me insane. I have 2 or 3 pieces not finished, so I'm wanting to finish those up before I jump into something else gargantuan. So, along with my package of, because I bought 2 pieces of that Be Stitch Me, she sent bonus silks, and these are unnamed silks. It was a gift inside the package, and I have a ton of Be Stitch Me silk because I was in the Floss Club for 2 years. So I'm just going to add this to my collection. I've got several pieces again that I want to start that I'm just going to pull from my stash and do some conversions. So again, thank you, Be Stitch Me. Thank you so much for sending me that. It was a great gift to open the package and find that. And then to continue the theme of all things dragon, again, my beloved, we were watching.
Again, that's me.
We were watching Jacob DeGraff's Flosstube, and he was showing his new pattern called Never Laugh at Dragons, at Live Dragons. And so next thing you know, I got an email and Stephen had purchased this for me sitting there watching it. So I have this pattern. No intentions to start it immediately. No idea what I want to do with it or any colors or anything. So it's just going in the stash.
We have a dragon wall.
We do. We have a dragon room. Yeah. No nerd alert going off here. So, and then I am a former high school band director, and I retired 2 years ago, and since then I've been working for a bus company, and I've moved into a new role as the driver recruiter and the training coordinator. And so we were out running a route, Stephen and I, to see if this route would work for teaching new drivers to come down a mountain. So we went to this great little town up in our mountains. I don't know, it's actually probably foothills, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's called Sparta, North Carolina. We stopped there to have lunch, and we just wandered the streets. A great little town with cute little shops of all kinds of variety. Used bookstore, wonderful used bookstore. And we wandered in, and there was a big basket full of cross stitch and all kinds of needlepoint patterns and just random patterns. And I just started leafing through it, and I found a treasure. I found a Teresa Winsler in there. And I was so excited, and I tried not to show my giant excitement over it. And I walked up to the counter, and I laid on the counter and said, "Just this, please." And she said, "That's 10 cents. I almost fell over when she said 10 cents. I'm like, you have no idea what you have. But it's the Egyptian Sampler by Teresa Winsler.
She was very eager to leave before she changed her mind.
I was like, this lady does not. So anyway, I don't know that I'll ever do this, but it's a Teresa Winsler, and every one of these I can find, I collect because I love her designs. I just don't know that I will ever do the Egyptian Sampler. Who knows?
It's very cool.
It's fantastic. But I've got a couple of her dragon ones that have to be done first. So
Dragons always take priority. Come on.
If God lets me live on this earth long enough, maybe I'll get to this one. But I was very excited to get it, and I mean, it's in fantastic condition. It's not marked up. It's not bent up. I always go in the used bookstores and take a look. So that was one of our, that was before summer. That was early spring adventures that we did. And so Steve and I took our quote-unquote vacation. I took a couple of days off of work, and he had just gotten out of school for the summer, and we went on a little trip up to Asheville and Swannanoa and eventually Black Mountain. So, of course, if you're going to Asheville, you've got to go by Sassy Jack's. In the new store, it was before the grand opening, and she was still trying to get everything put away. And it's a gorgeous old house, just absolutely gorgeous. I know you've seen so many Sassy Jack's videos from folks that have been going up, but we had our chance to go. And so we wandered through. I wandered through. Stephen patiently waited on me he sat in the linen room for a while.
I was good.
He was good. He was patient. I was overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that's in there, and I'm not in in a purchasing mode because I don't like to purchase things that I don't think I'll ever get to. I'm not a collector of patterns. That's just, it's not my thing. So I just looked at all the beautifulness. I looked at the linen. Again, I have a closet full of linen. There's no real good reason for me to purchase more linen. But what I did purchase, they have these great cards that you can write on and put on the backs of your pieces to just say who did them, because in 25 years, you know, maybe when it ends up at the Goodwill, somebody will appreciate it and keep it. So I bought those. And then, of course, when you check out at Sassy Jack's, they always give you a couple of them. I just needed more than a couple. So I bought a package of those. And then the one thing I did purchase there, I have been intrigued by this since I saw somebody present it on Flosstube. I have no idea, but it's the Ink Circles Jolly Green. It's just really cool. And I think it'll be a great, just soothing stitch to do at some point in time. But yeah, this came home with us. I got the approval from my escort that, yeah, this is a cool piece. I think it would be
That
great.
would be me.
So, and while we were, after we left Sassy Jack's, we had a nice little trip down the mountain back down to Swannanoa, which is just south of Asheville. It's right before you get to Black Mountain. And there's a great bead shop there. And Stephen makes jewelry and fobs and or he collects beads, I think, mostly as of late.
Hey, you have a stash, I have a stash.
True. So he found wonderful beads that he purchased, and so I patiently waited for him at the bead store and was good. I was good. Then we went down the mountain to Black Mountain and just enjoyed the ambiance of Black Mountain. Again, if you ever come to North Carolina, it's just a great little town, wonderful shops, potters and jewelry artists, and you name any kind of craftsman type thing, they've got stores in Black Mountain that have that.
Got the yarn store.
Yeah, oh, the yarn store, Black Mountain Yarn. If I were a knitter or a crocheter, you couldn't drag me out of that store. I love everything in there, and I have no idea how to do either of those crafts. So, you know, check out Black Mountain sometime. It's just a beautiful little town, and it's, you hit Asheville, you hit Black Mountain. We enjoyed that, and then I'm wearing my crown colors. A little life update today because we got to go see Carolina Crown is a drum and bugle corps based out of Fort Mill, South Carolina. We like to claim them as our own here in North Carolina.
They got started in Charlotte.
They did. They got started in Charlotte. But the drum and bugle corps season is in full force. Actually, we're a week and a half in. And they're touring the country, and these are young folks. They are usually age 16 to 21. You age out at 21. It's basically professional marching band. It's as close a thing as we have to professional marching band. So we got to go see their home show before they left to go on tour down at Gardner Webb that same weekend. Gardner Webb is a university down in Shelby. Got to go see them. So I'm wearing my crown colors, cheering them on because they performed tonight. And we will watch them on the streaming service, Flow Marching. So that's
before we go to sleep.
Before we go to sleep, because they don't play until 8:30 tonight, which is getting really late for old people.
And we're old.
So cheering them on and watching some drum corps right now and trying to stay cool. And Stephen's enjoying his few days off before he goes back to school because he's got the shortest summer ever.
They changed the calendar on us and essentially cut a month off of our break. So
yeah, but it's better for the kids. So yeah, teachers will just have to deal. Whatever.
It'll be back to normal next year.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we've been up to is following the drum corps, and I've been going to work every day and trying not to spontaneously combust. So that's pretty much our exciting life.
And you had a video that you made about your driving.
I did make a driving video. That's right. It's been so long ago. The last big trip I ran to Atlanta, I did a video about how to stitch on a bus, or what I do, and how my weird bus job works when I run trips.
No driving.
No driving. No. We don't do that. But this is me sitting. If you know anything about Atlanta, real close to the aquarium is a huge, basically a parking lot for large vehicles, for trucks and for buses. So I was down there for like 8 or 9 hours one day, and just decided to do a video of here's how I stitch on the bus, or here's kind of how I live when I'm on the bus. So that was fun. It was good. Good morning, everybody. It is bright and early morning. I am in Atlanta, Georgia. Actually parked at a place called Marshalling Yard, which I've dropped my group at the aquarium this morning, and I've got 4 hours to kill while I'm sitting here at Marshalling Yard waiting on them to tour the aquarium. So just thought I'd show you what it's like to have to manage and handle a motor coach. So let's turn this around and take a look at things. So this is my view most days. It's where I live. iPad for keeping up with my hours of service. Usually my phone lives in that little mount right there. All the fancy stuff over here. Parking brake, tag, lots and lots of things, gear box, all that kind of stuff. So this is one of our tall buses. It has a satellite on it, so it's tall. It's 12.8. So yeah, this is kind of trash bag. Yeah, this is kind of where I spend most of my work days when I'm driving. So this is the inside. This is a 50-passenger coach. And you can see my group is obviously not here, but yeah, this is what it looks like. So the things that I take with me, gotta have your neck pillow. Okay, that lets me, well, I'm in the front seat, and I have room here to, got a little table-ish, and then I've got room to, you know, sit back and set up this way. So I always got my neck pillow. And then I have a camping hammock that my wonderful husband purchased for me as a present, and I'll show you in a minute how I set this up. I don't really stitch in the hammock because no, there's just no way to make that work. But I do rest in the hammock. Sometimes I had to use it yesterday. I had a lot of downtime yesterday, pretty late into the evening, so I hung it up and got in that and took a little bit of a nap. So I'll show you how that works. It's pretty cool. And then, of course, got my stitching bag. It always goes with me. And, you know, I just kind of plan for what I need and what I might have time to do. Now, yesterday I thought I was going to have a lot of time, but I ended up with a mechanical issue and had to wait on a mechanic, and I ended up scrolling on my phone instead of doing any stitching. So I have a little bit of shelf right here, and I have my stuff set up, and I'm just sitting in the front seat, and I can stretch out. A lot of times I stretch out over here, put my feet up, sit my seat back, you know, and just sit here and stitch, pattern, everything in hand. I'm working on my little bookmark right now because I really need to finish it. And it's small and it's easy. So that's kind of how the stitching works when I have downtime on the motor coach. Hammock is all hooked up. There's mounts inside these bulkheads that I can clip it to, and way up in there. And then I just set it up like this, take my shoes off, step up on a seat, and load myself into my hammock. And this is what it's like hanging up in the bus. I can get a good nap in here every once in a while. Not doing a huge amount of driving anymore. I'm pretty much back in a classroom, and I'm teaching folks how to drive. Having a good time with that. I get to do all of the driver interviews. Some of those are a little scary because how are you going to drive? You know, part of an interview when you interview for driving is you have to go drive. That is a federal regulation. You take them on a test drive. So some of those test drives are a little interesting. They've all been fine so far, but one or two have been a little like, okay. But it's fun working with adults. Teaching adults is a little bit different than teaching kids, but not enough different to really count it. So
you've got another teaching gig coming up in about a week. Yeah,
I get to be back in the classroom teaching young people who play instruments. I get to do a summer music camp gig for a week in 2 weeks. So I'm looking forward to that, getting back on the podium and being in front of musicians. I miss that. I miss the making music part and the getting ready for a concert part, which is exactly what I get to do for that week. So life is good here, other than the heat, and we're both doing well. Stephen was having trouble with his back last time we filmed, but he's much, much better now and getting along well.
Yep.
And we, have the new grandbaby, so life is good in our world. We do have a Etsy store that I'm real quick commercial about. There's bags in there and some fobs. Stephen makes all the zipper pulls for our bags. They're wire woven work. Did I say that right, dear sir? About your wire wraps?
Wire wrapped.
Wire wrapped. Okay, that's the type of jewelry he makes, is wire wrap jewelry. But anyway, it's called Foreverusneedleraft. There's some summery bags in there, so if you would like a new bag, please go check that out on Etsy. Foreverusneedleraft on Etsy. So I think that's kind of a wrap for us. I'm going to get, this afternoon we have a down afternoon, so I'm going to get back to work on my Snow Queen because I really want to see that one finished. I hope you're having a great summer. Had a wonderful 4th weekend, those of you in the United States. Those of you not in the United States, just a wonderful weekend, and everybody's safe and doing well. Thank you again for spending time with us, and until we see you again, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Please don't include that in the video.